I often read this. I'm a new DM. How can I do this? What advice would you give me? This is my first night that I'm about to DM, and any advice, you guys? This is what I often read. And therefore I recorded this. Welcome to the DM table. I'm Em, and today we are going to talk about my advice for new DMs. Welcome once again. As a DM that has been running for a long time, I have a couple of things that I would like to tell you from the get-go. Even if there's so many things I think every time that I would like to write, that I would like to say. There's too many things, but if there are a couple, these would be the ones. Firstly, you can do it even if you don't know everything yet, even if you haven't memorized everything yet, even if you don't have all of the equipment yet. You and your players are at the center of this, and you all can do it. And everything else are additions, because role-playing is within the mind of the people. And how exactly do I know this? Well, how do you think I learned role-playing? When I was 6 years old, I went to play with girls my age, and what do you know, they were playing house, and they were quite good at it, in fact. Yes, these 6-year-old people knew how to role-play quite well, because they practiced, and mind you, they had no access to any sort of knowledge of D&D or anything similar, to any sort of system, to any sort of game, or even video game. Yes, we had all no video games, no sources of inspiration, barely any cartoons, and yet they knew very well how to roleplay. How did they do it? I was shocked, amazed. At first I didn't know what to do, and even more so, I didn't know how the girl that was running the thing was doing all this. She seemed to be in a world that she could see and hear and know, and yet I don't know where her source was, how she was achieving this, where was she looking at. And then, well, by observation it started to click. She was imagining and piecing together a scenario that she was running in, from shows that adults watched and that she sort of gotten pieces out of and pieced them together, and now she was having a scenario, and she was already knowledgeable in what should go and what shouldn't, and she already knew all sorts of roles for that house play, about the family and how each of us were supposed to play and role play, and she didn't tell us anything. We just were invited to play, and we were supposed to play from the get-go with no explanation, and this was hard for me, but I did catch on, and with a little bit of instructions during, I've gotten the hang of it, and whilst I was still very slow and she was still very in the midst of it, you can imagine how at that point I learned what it is to roleplay and how you do it, and that you don't actually need a system. You don't actually need a system, and you can do essentially everything. It was more about precision of the emotion and flow and story rather than, you know, the rules. Rules are there to help you figure out some sort of, you know, opposition, competition, make sense out of the mess that is combat, and so on and so forth. But rules are just sort of a addition that people came up with. Role-playing existed even before, even where no system ever set its foot. So remember, you can do all this so much that, well, we're getting to my second point. Run a campaign that's worth your time. Sure, you may try with a one-shot first, but, you know, run something that is worth your time and your players' time Don't be shy to talk to your players, learn what session 0 is, learn about how you should sit down with players, most likely, and talk to them about what they would love to play, who they would love to play, how they would love to play, and how to fulfill all their dreams, because role-playing is the final frontier of playing, essentially. You can live what you want to live, you can feel what you want to feel, and you can experience what you want to experience, and budget is essentially limitless. So yeah, remember to run something that's worth it, that you'll all have the greatest of joy from. Don't just run something because it could be okay, because something that could be okay ends up being okay. And the okay thing is just okay. You want to plan together for the finest, and yeah, about being overambitious, well, that's more about the rules and our preparation. All of this can be improvised, as long as you know how to replicate the source material and maybe go a bit beyond it. But, you know, going a bit beyond is a bit more advanced and you don't need to. As long as you can sort of do what you all wished to do, you're good. You're perfect. No worries. And then just learn to refine it and add genres to your list of things you're able to run, and so on and so forth. That's really, you know, all you need to do. Keep learning, keep studying, because it never ends. I still learn new things about DMing every day. Seriously. And I've been at it for so many years that they are now decades. So, well, don't be shy, as I said, to talk to your players, to hear what are the most wonderful things that they want, what do you all want to do together, how do you want to do it, so that you can plan those quests, pick system, run the campaign, so that you know why you're doing what you're doing, because this is why you're doing it, so that you all can do that. And, well, the third thing that I would say, try to get somebody to also DM for you. You don't have to run a big group. Running for 2 people is perfect. Running for 1 person is pretty perfect, really. I've done it for years. It's, you know, pretty perfect itself. You can run for 3 people, for 2 people, for 1 person. As long as there's 1 player and 1 DM, you're all set. And if you have 6 friends or something, you can have 2 groups with 2 DMs. And if you have a total of 6 people and 2 DMs amongst them, 5 people can play in 1 group, including a DM of the other group, and 5 people, including the DM of the other group, can play in the first group, and all can play. This is important because you want to experience this wonderful thing that you're about to embark on, because if you're DM always from the beginning, you don't have the player's perspective. On the other hand, if you're only a player, you don't have really as much DM perspective. You should encourage your players to try being DMs even for one-shots. If anything, you should encourage them to try it, to learn it, to do it, because if they don't wanna do it ever, that means that they think that you should work more than they should work. Seriously, because it's not real sharing. You should try to share responsibility. So teach somebody to DM as soon as possible. Maybe even during you yourself learning. Just, you know, have somebody be your partner DM or something like that. Not in the same campaign necessarily. Most people wouldn't recommend that, and I don't really know, I guess. I mean, just, you know, have them learn what you're learning so that they can try to do their own thing with you, like you're doing the thing with them. And, well, that's the secret. That's the way you get, you know, decades and decades of enjoyment, and doing whatever you want and having the best time of your life. That's seriously it, and don't let people discourage you. Just make sure that the group fits, but have your, you know, partner, your girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, wife, whoever, have people, you know, your children, whoever, have them with you. Have your brother, your sister, heck, have your dog around the table if it's a nice dog that, you know, you can count on to provide moral support and even maybe occasionally be a party mascot and part of the game. I mean, I've seen it happen. I've seen people do that with cats, with dogs, with any kind of, pet as well. Not that I suggest running only to a dog. At least have one, well, humanoid at the table, but other than that, have fun. Now, as for other things, as for the million things I want to say, well, that's why I have the channel, so if you want, stay around. If you thought this was unique, maybe you can spare a click, and I can see you here next week. And please write in the comments, write what you want, because I want to hear, so that I can respond and help and talk, because that's the best. Talk with your players, talk with your friends, do what you like, and enjoy your stuff. Bye.